Yanagi is known for her incredibly strong on-field electric anomaly DPS. I will break down her gameplay to make playing Yanagi easier for everyone, covering only the useful attack combos and the key details that you will only need to know. First up, there is an icon bar below Yanagi. When the icon is blue, Yanagi is in Jogen stance. When the icon is yellow-orange, Yanagi is in Kagen stance. By looking at the color of her hair accessory, you can tell which stance Yanagi is using. In Jogen stance, her electric damage increases by 10% and her basic attacks have a higher anti-interrupt level. In Kagen stance, her penetration ratio increases by 10% and her basic attacks have a higher interrupt level. You can switch stance by clicking the special attack button. Switching stance does not require any energy. After switching, the icon will show both blue and orange colors. This means Yanagi keeps the bonus from the previous stance for 8 seconds. In other words, she can maintain both buffs if we switch her stance for every 8 seconds. If you prefer one stance or want to stick with a certain stance, you can double click the special attack button to maintain it. This also does not use any energy and keeps both stance buffs for 8 seconds. Here's my hot take on Yanagi's stance. I believe Kagen stance is actually better. This is because while attacking in Kagen stance, Yanagi can interrupt some elite enemies' attacks, and her aerial attack helps her avoid getting hit easily. This lets her keep attacking non-stop most of the time. On the other hand, in Jogen stance, you cannot interrupt the attacks of the same elite enemies. Let's talk about the 3 key points of Yanagi's X special attack that use energy. Firstly, Yanagi uses 1/3 of her energy for her whole X special attack, and she is invulnerable while performing it. Afterward, enemies affected by an anomaly will get a special disorder effect that deals massive damage. This effect does not reset the anomaly meter and scales with Yanagi's anomaly proficiency. After using the whole X special attack, she switches her stance and gains both of the stances buffs. In addition to that, she also gets a unique buff known as Shinra Bansho. This buff makes her basic attacks start from the 3rd to the 5th of her basic attack, dealing electric damage for 15 seconds. For Yanagi's ultimate, it deals massive electric damage and applies the same special disorder effect as her X special attack. Moving on, Yanagi can block all types of enemy attacks, including missiles, lasers, and even explosions. However, this only works when the enemy is about to attack, and Yanagi switches her stance during her 3rd to 5th electric damage basic attacks. Blocking becomes easier in the Shinra Bansho state as it allows Yanagi to always start from the 3rd to 5th electric damage basic attacks. To further improve your blocking, avoid mashing buttons mindlessly. Instead, study the enemy's attack patterns and slightly slow your basic attacks when you sense an attack is coming. This helps you time your stance, switch, and block more effectively. Lastly, let's talk about how to actually play Yanagi in real combat. Start by having your utility or anomaly agents to buff your team or apply attribute anomalies to the enemies. After that, swap to Yanagi, and if you have enough energy, always begin with the whole X special attack to gain both the dual stance and Shinra Bansho buffs. If you do not have enough energy, start by switching stances to at least gain the dual stance buff and perform the basic attacks. When the dual stance buff runs out, you can either hold the special attack again to reset both of the buffs or swap to your support and anomaly agents. Just repeat the same steps and you are good to go. When choosing a drive this set for Yanagi, keep in mind that Yanagi's special and ultimate attacks scale with anomaly proficiency. Chaos Jazz is the best 4-piece option as it boosts her anomaly proficiency and increases her electric damage. It also extends her X special and assist attack damage for 5 seconds when she returns to the field. For a 2-piece set, Freedom Blue is a great choice for additional anomaly proficiency. Alternatively, a 4-piece Thunder Metal with a 2-piece Freedom Blue can work too, but it is harder to time shocks and disorders perfectly to maintain the attack buff. This setup is best for mono-electric teams and may show slightly higher damage in calculations, but it is challenging to execute it flawlessly. In terms of drive these stats, the main stats for slot 1, 2, and 3 are fixed. Aim for anomaly proficiency on slot 4, electric damage on slot 5, and anomaly mastery on slot 6. As for substats, prioritize anomaly proficiency first, followed by attack percent, and then penetration. For S-Rank W Engine, Time Weaver is the best for her since it provides more anomaly build-up and buffs her anomaly proficiency and disorder damage. Another great option for the extra W engine is Fusion Compounder. It gives Yanagi the anomaly proficiency and attack that she needs. For air rank W engine options, Electro-Lip Gloss and Ripping Gemini are almost equally good. Electro-Lip Gloss boosts the Yanagi's attack and increases damage against enemies with an attribute anomaly, while Ripping Gemini enhances Yanagi's anomaly proficiency and is highly effective in a disorder team. When it comes to the best team for Yanagi, one of the strongest teams will be Yanagi and Bernie's disorder team with Scissor. Bernice builds up fire anomaly very quickly and can continue to apply it while off-field. Meanwhile, Yanagi stays on field to consistently apply electric anomaly, leading to constant disorders that deal massive damage to enemies. Scissor works as a utility agent, providing an attack buff, enemy damage taken debuff, strong dazed application, and anti-interrupt shield. You could also replace Scissor with Seth, Lucy, or Rina, who have similar synergy with both Yanagi and Bernice. For Bamboo choices, you can pair this team with Red Monka's Bamboo. Another strong team option is Yanagi's Mono-Electric team with Rina. As a support agent, Rina's penetration buff boosts Yanagi's personal damage and has attribute synergy with her. For the third agent, several options can further enhance this team's potential. For example, Seth with his AP buff and anomaly resistance strat, Grace with her shock damage multiplier, and Scissor with her utility buffs as mentioned earlier. For Bamboo choices, you can pair this team with Plug Pool. When building a team with Yanagi, it is important to choose agents that work well together. For the second agent, pick another anomaly character or one that shares the same attribute to activate Yanagi's additional ability. For the last agent, you can choose any utility agent you need, as long as they synergize with Yanagi and the second agent's attributes, faction, or specialty. And that's about it. I hope you find this guide helpful. Please consider liking and subscribing to support my work. Thanks for watching and have fun in Zenless Zone Zero.